Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday chat. Glad y'all are here. I see y'all in here having a good old time. Let me see what we got. Dark Angel, I saw you. Hey Papa's Farm, Joni, Chaos Prepper. If I miss you, I'm sorry. Coffee First. Hey Random, good to see you. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Finally, hopefully most of y'all in your areas are into the spring mode. Hopefully. Hey T Paul. And on to the springtime things that we're doing for prepping and, gardening or whatever you do. Hey, Dusty Country Road. Again, hey, Tiger. Miss Sharon. My YouTube mama. All is well. TT1. It was a great show last night. It was hilarious. Thank you. Oh, Huckleberry. Constitutional Carpenter, how are you? Thistle Moon Farm. Hey, how are you? Okay, if I missed anyone. Hey, Anthony Tripp. Montana Nana. Good to see all you guys. I really appreciate y'all being here. Okay, if I missed you, I'm sorry, and I'll try to keep up. You know how it is. You know how I do. I'll be way behind soon before I know it. So, let's see. A couple things. We did do our another hive inspection today, and it went great. It went really good, and we got footage of that. And yes, I know I've been saying it. I know I've been busy, but I do have and I'm actually at this point dreading it because it kept piling up. I have a ton of video to edit and put together of different hive inspections and things going on. I will get to that. I will make myself sit here and go through all that and put it together. So I'm going to put that out. Hopefully I'll be able to put that out tomorrow. But it went really good. And yesterday we were outside and some of our little, I call them little baby bees. Huckleberry tell you all the details in proper terms. But I think they're about 8 days old, and they came out and they were kind of doing the orientation flight. We saw them yesterday come out, so we were really excited about that because everything is moving along and doing as it's supposed to and taking its cycles and its course as it needs to. Hey, Rescue. Ken, how are you? Good to see you guys. So I have more footage about that, but they're doing really good, especially after I had talked, but I hadn't. It's on the footage that I have to edit. We had went in and did a inspection prior to this, and we had gotten these little hive beetles, and it was stressing us out. And there were some issues, and we were surprised they came. This is a brand new hive. We have our thoughts and theories on that. Huckleberry can throw it down if he wants. I think he has before, but that is part of it. And I mean, this is a learning course, so we're hitting these hiccups now, which we have them. Different things, and we got it resolved, and the bees are their colonies growing, so they're resolving also because they'll take care of those type of pests on their own. It's just that it was so new that sometimes they can't, but everything's going really good. And there's honey in there, there's more larva. There's baby bees in there. So they're doing their things that they're supposed to, and they're coming along great. I'm really excited about them. So we have that. I will get that. That footage. I promise I'll get it edited. Now I'm just it piles up. Anyone that is on this side of it, and you have all this good footage, but it piles up, and then you dread editing it. That's where I am. I'm not gonna lie. That's where I am right now with it. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything over here. I appreciate all of you. And yes, make sure in your live chat. And if you have a question for me, I think Ms. Sharon already said it. Please put it in all capitals. It just helps me see it easier when I have to scan through these things. I did want to a couple things because I'm iffy about teaching foraging mushrooms because some of that can be really dangerous, and I want people to have a hands-on. But I did talk about lion's mane, which I think is a really, really good one. As long as you're not allergic to mushrooms. If you have issues, still be safe about things. But I wanted to show you something we had picked up, and I haven't even opened it yet. But it's something because this is another venture I'm getting into. Of course, I'll bring you guys along. It's a lion's mane growing kit. This whole little kit that's in here that you can get. So I'm excited to try that. I did a video talking about lion's mane and the benefits. I mean, anything with, it heals And I talked about certain reasons that maybe people want to kind of get into that, heals nerves and stimulates new nerve growth, which we're seeing a lot of damage to that for different reasons. Lion's mane is great for intestinal healing and gut health, whether like people who have stuff like SIBO or different intestinal issues, it's really good for that. But also it's really good for your intestinal immune system part. Because I told I say all the time, majority of our health is in our gut. Starts in our gut. If your gut is messed up, you're going to have all kinds of issues that do not even seem related to the gut. You may not have any gut symptoms, but it's going to come in different ways, which a lot of them become, because I've talked about the gut brain connection. A lot of it will come and manifest into, like anxiety, depression, mood, mental and mood disorders, things like that. So full body inflammation. I've talked about all these things. Great for oxidative stress. I've talked about if you get oxidative stress in your body, it becomes that snowball effect. A lion's mane is used a lot for autoimmune diseases, disorders, which is another good one that people use who have MS, and preventing those type of things. I am about preventive care, heart, circulatory system, anything to do with that, anything with the brain. If you've had brain injuries or like the gut brain thing, you're getting a 2-for-1 on that. Just a lot of things, helps the energy, all that. So because of that, and you can buy that already done in capsules or teas. There's many ways you can buy it's already put together. But I want to get in trying to grow and do our own, and you can get these different kits. I got this locally at the health food store. You can get them different places. You can order them, check your food. I'm all about if you can get it local, do things like that. It's something I want to get into, and I'll bring you along to see how that goes. Another learning thing, I haven't grown that before. Okay, let me see if I make sure I haven't gotten to miss too much. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah. I think it's it can be one of those that's harder to get. And if people know what it is and know the benefit is, that they're going to grab it up. I mean, gut health, TT1. Gut health. It's good for your gut. You're into all of the stuff. I haven't taken a ring for a week while my leg. Yeah, that's a really good one. It has different things for that. For some reason, there's another one trying to hush. And I've done a video on that one before, but it does. Let's see. I got some kits for Christmas. So far, I have lion's mane. Oh, okay. There's cell phone. Once it's been done in the box, take the box and try them outside. It works great. Thank you for sharing that. I'm excited. They're usually not very hard mushrooms. Just certain ones you have to be careful that you have it in kind of a sterile container environment, things like that. So it is. That is a one that they use. They use that for any like mental things and anything doing the brain and central nervous system, nervous system. Everybody needs to say it works well. I think something good to have on. And a lot of things, like I say about so much, if you just incorporate it into your lifestyle, That's why so many other countries don't have some of the problems that we have over here, because it's part of their diet, their lifestyle, and it's a good preventive care, and those things can't happen. So it's something I want to get into, do things safe on, and when I'm not on here about mushrooms, I'm not talking about foraging or identity. I just want to give you the information. If you're foraging any type of mushrooms, please be careful and know exactly what you're doing, because there's lookalikes that can be really dangerous. I mean, with anything, but there are some serious ones with that. Yeah, you can put it in all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's good to eat. So I see y'all use mullein, mullein. Oh yeah, how it grows. Okay, mullein is going to be your respiratory tonic. That's like when there was an illness and stuff going around. That was something I highly recommended doing. You can do usually like mullein tea is what I recommend. But anything you can think of that has to do with your, respiratory, your lung health, not just that. That is your absolute number one respiratory tonic that you would. And when I say tonic, I mean it can be in different forms, but it's fantastic. And if you can get it and it hasn't, you know that it cannot be like by a roadside or somewhere that's been sprayed, because it does absorb toxins when it's out growing in the wild. It has to be, you have to absolutely know it hasn't absorbed or been in an area that's been sprayed or treated or right near the roadside, because it'll absorb all that. And you know 100% that's what it is. Uh, I suggest, if it was me, I would grab it and dry it. And you can put in dehydrator, dry it really good, package it correctly, and you have your teas for that. Fantastic stuff. Oh no. My neighbor who does minimal yard work is going to I don't have an answer for that. That is what the problem is with so much. If you live like that, because there's going to be runoff and things that even go underground. He went underground on his side, her side, whoever. There's all that still underground's connected. There's and when you get rain and everything, that runoff. I mean, in some way, we're always going to be exposed, because I've talked about before about the weed killer, Roundup, everything. If people spray it, nowhere near you, evaporates, it goes out, and that's why they find those traces of that in rainwater all the time. I really don't have an answer for that. That has been a problem for many years, and it has tremendous effects. I don't really know that there's a good answer, and I'm very sorry. I will be praying about that. It's not exactly the same benefits, but there are a lot of benefits. But it's not the same. If I absolutely only had to pick one, I would do lion's mane, but whatever suits you. But no, it's not exactly the same. They're all a little bit unique. I could probably do a video on turkey tail. I don't do videos trying to explain or tell people how to forage them, because I want people, just my opinion. And there's plenty of videos I'm sure people have done. I just feel like somebody needs to have a hands-on learning style for that one. No, it may be. You would be surprised at things that you would not think are, that you could collect or forage for, that are illegal now. It just depends, but it very check your area, because it probably very well is. And again, that's why also certain things like this, I want to absolutely know and have peace of mind that I know there's nothing on this, nothing's been tampered with or sprayed or contaminated. I like that comfort for that. And then a lot of times when you get one of these things going, you can keep on doing it. You'll just keep on, having it. Yeah. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff like that. They have a big chart for that. It shows how if they resemble, there's just for a reason. How God and created nature and everything to be that way. There's a yeah. Yes. And that's why I tell people, when you're learning them, please don't just learn what particular one is. If you're learning you're looking for something to forage and you know it backwards and forwards, I want you to know the lookalikes backwards and forwards, and know. Like, I know I can tell this apart, because you're going to have to, because when you're out and you're like, oh, I know what this is. And there could be one slight different. And when in doubt, if you are not 100% sure, leave it alone. Because especially in shift, the last thing that you want to do is get a hold of something and it have some bad effects, and we're in shift, and it can be really bad. So I hope I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything or getting to. Hey Bruce, I'm sorry if I've missed anyone along the way. Hey Dove J. Somewhat now. Oh yeah, thanks for sharing all that. I'm all about getting seeds. Things you a lot of times also learn their medicinal purposes. It may just because we think about seeds, we think about our gardening and things that we like to eat and things like that. Even if it's something you're like, well, I don't really have a use for that now, but say I don't have access to certain medications or different things, you may want to have that on hand because you're like, hey, I know what this works for. Just please stock those things now. Do your research. I'll help how I can. If you have questions, send me emails. That's fine. Hey, Independent, how are you? I'll be glad to help. Hey, Cherokee, how are you? If y'all have not seen yet, if you did not see the video yet of the knife, it was a special. I think I can call it the title was a special mail call, and I think I put thank you Cherokee Survival, and he gifted me with a beautiful knife. Go check it out. It was so nice. Hey, Always Lying, how are you? Oh, you still got phrases? Oh gosh, that's terrible. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Hey, love. I got kiddos coming in the back door. Just real life. Let me see. See, I don't have that long winters that so many people deal with. Like, I hear people they're still getting snow and everything in April and I'm just, I would be, I guess it's all what you're accustomed to. Hey, Mark. Yeah, Sunday's a nap day, right? Yeah. I see Huckleberry. I know what I'm talking about, but yeah, always a lot of my stuff I pick, especially forage, I splash it with vinegar, and when I give it a wash, even when I pick my own herbs, just in case, I do that, and we do that when we pick our mulberries, just to give it a good rinse. Oh gosh, really, TT1? It's crazy. I'm more southern than you then. I don't mean just, in location. That's crazy. I mean, we're supposed to get like what they, a cold front, but I think the highs are going to be in this, mid and high 60s coming up, I think starting tomorrow, stuff like that. Hey, Kid Coleman, welcome. Glad you're here. Goodness gracious, with the snow, I guess I would think, oh my gosh, I'm wasting all my growing time. Again, it's what you're accustomed to. The mud. Yeah, our winters can be like that. Just coming in. Truth social good. I don't know. I need to ask other more seasoned YouTubers. TT1, you may know. Also, I don't know different ones. Can you not really pick, but can you kind of sort through like your certain advertisements they show on your channel? It seems like I heard someone say that before. Like if you're like, look, don't put this ad on my thing. I don't know, or if you don't have any say so at all. Bye. Again, kiddos. Hey, Michael G. That's okay if you're late. You know how. I'm scattered. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just come in here and talk about whatever. You can wait till okay. MD Creekmore is in the house. Wow, we're out in the 30s already. So have you got things in the ground, or you don't have anything coming up? My garden is pretty going. It stresses me when I have things in because, like I said, our February was so warm here. It was such a warm February, and then our March was like so cold, and then even the beginning of April we got a couple and I was out there, covering things up with sheets and stuff. I didn't want to loot, and then I had the issue with my mulberry tree. Been mowing. Okay, I gotta get the things done. Oh, and speaking of all those things, for a man who goes some more, it's MD Creekmore, as my little thing down here says, always remember to take your day of rest. Can't pour from an empty cup now, can we? And my husband get on to me for that also, just, because I always have something to do or something I want to do or things that need to be done. But we have to remember to take our day of rest, and we need that. Okay, Michigan Outpost, that's no problem. Good to have replays, right? My blueberries and strawberries are coming in. My blackberry kind of bush looks the best, flowering like crazy, but doesn't have anything on it yet. My raspberries aren't doing anything, and I couldn't get them to do anything last year. I don't understand, because all my other berries, they do fine. I don't know what that's about, but they're all coming in. I already have some blueberries coming up. My strawberries are up, but they're still green. I don't know. I don't know why some things are like that. Oh, I don't think you do. I mean, because sometimes I'm like, if they kind of go off your channel, what they put, I think that they absolutely put a complete opposite side of things on there. I don't know. I thought I thought I heard somebody one time say, I haven't gone in there and checked the ads of what, I don't remember. It was a while back. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to it. I just come in here and do my thing and go on. It's awful. The bees, DC, they're good. I was talking about them earlier. We did an inspection today. They're doing great. They're doing really good. And we have new baby bees. That's what I call them. They've come out. They've been doing the orientation flight, and it's growing, and they're doing their thing and doing the honey and making all stuff. Hey, Paradise Acres, how are you? Awesome. Yeah, we've used pallets for making different things as well. Oh, you have no say so. I don't think you do, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to I don't pay attention to my own ads on my stuff. I just don't. Snowed in Michigan. That sounds miserable to me, to be quite honest. I am sorry for you. But I don't do, I mean, I like snow, but I also like, when it's springtime, I want to be out and doing my things in the warm. Make sure I'm not missing anything, because I have to. Look, I am behind. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my potatoes are doing great. I have mine in my tower. I think after this, I'm going to do all of them. Now, my sweet potatoes are in the ground, and they're doing great. I mean, you see them growing up and everything. But mine are doing great. And that tower thing, the layer, I think I've talked about it a couple times, is kind of like straw and dirt layer. And we just took chicken wire and made it into a circle, just made it like a tower. And they're doing great. So I'm excited about that. I love potatoes. We eat potatoes all the time. I mean, to me, that's a survival food. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. I understand. Oh, your blackberries didn't produce? Oh, really? I don't know. I can't get my raspberries. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, MD. Take care. He's probably already gone. Oh, thank you. I am humbled. MD's the go-to. I'd say he's the Chuck Norris of the prepping community. I tell him that. I haven't gotten him. My raspberries are in containers, like big barrel type containers. The same as all my other ones. And that's the only ones. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm not really sure. Oh, no. Did they? I have to mess with John about that. But I think they just do that. I know. Oh, am I so honored? Yeah, he pops in here. He pops in here every once in a while. And he's great. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, I do have elderberries. I have elderberries. This is growing this year. And they're coming up good. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, they are just gaslighting. They like to do that. Um, Thank you, Sandy. I understand. I'm big on that because it's a lot of mine. I'm big. If I listen, I listen to a lot of, and then I'm usually talking like, doing something I can hear it on my phone. I'm just yelling back at the screen or being involved that nobody else can hear because I don't have time. I'm busy and I'm not involved in the chat, but I listen. It's just how we have to do it sometimes. Yeah, my strawberries come back over and over. They seem to just be easy on their own. You don't have to mess with them so much. TD1 last year I did mine in buckets and they didn't do anything. And I've had them go like that before. So this year I did a tower and for my like russet potatoes and my sweet potatoes are in the ground. And both of them that way are doing really good. So I'm going to see when it's harvest time how they do. But so far I'm loving that method. So, yeah, I rotate my stuff all the time. I never do my garden the same way every year. Some's container, some's not. Sometimes I do rows. This year it's blocked off in like rectangle areas how I have things set. It's not just the long rows. Maybe I get bored with it to be a certain way. I don't know. I just like to switch it up or whatever I feel when it's time to start planting. I did that. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same as all the other ones. I don't know what is wrong with that one. All the other, they're all like you can put like blueberries love acidic soil, so you can take your coffee grounds and stuff like that, and you can put. They love that, so I'll put like coffee grounds in with my blueberries because they like that. But I don't know what's going on with my raspberries because the blackberries are doing great. Strawberries, I don't know. Oh, you talking about onions? Yeah, I love onions, different types. Lo has yeah, I don't know. I've never had issues with our soil as far as other things, but I may have to test it. I mean, they're not green, they're not growing. I mean, it's nothing. It's like they look like they're dead. I don't know what happened. But they're not doing quite great. But I'm grateful for all that are doing really good. I'm sorry how far behind. Sorry, Miss Sharon. I'm really far behind. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the coffee. My black, and those two are doing great. I don't know what's wrong with my raspberries, but it is. And yeah, if you can do elderberry where you're at, learn how to process that correctly and safely to make, to have elderberry like a syrup or something that's immune boosting. Yeah, I can. I have one up. I think I did. I don't know, was it a short or a little video? I did a piece of my garden, but I'm about to do another updated garden thing. But yeah, I will put it up there and just put my potato tower. And I explained, I just did layers of like straw, and then I put the dirt, and then I would take, and all of mine that are growing, all of them are from potatoes I had, and they just got the eyes on them and started sprouting. And I just went in the outside circle of that and planted those. And then I did another layer of straw and dirt. And then I did the little eyed, pieces. And I just kept doing that until I ran out of potato pieces. And it's worked fantastic. I highly recommend it. I mean, again, some people have great things. Last year, I couldn't get my potatoes came up, the top of them came up really good in the in the like 5-gallon buckets last year. I didn't get any potatoes. They didn't work out. I don't know why. Some have the best luck with that. But then I have like a compost, and I have potatoes coming out of the compost that I have the ones that you completely ignore and don't show all the love and attention to, and they seem to do really great. And that is in a big bucket. And I see it coming out of the compost. But that's just how it is. Yeah, you just gotta be careful that you just gotta be aged. I just throw, when we clean out our chicken coop area, we just throw it in the compost because it's a hot manure, so it has to, set a little longer. I mix it in with that. I stayed on the fence. I went back and forth. Some of y'all can put in here. I was like, oh, well, maybe for fertilizer stuff, because it gets to the point you can't go and buy. Now I do things organic. The fertilizer, anything like that, is rabbits for their pellets can be instantly put over. It doesn't have to, it's not a hot manure, so that can go instantly over, and it works fantastic. I've thought about getting, like, do I want rabbits just for the security of having a ready to go good fertilizer? But then sometimes I'm like, do I want to mess with rabbits? Because I have kiddos, and they're not ever going to be eaten if that happens, I'm sure. Unless we were dire starving. But I mean, for the compost part, I don't know. Bruce, they're doing great. I've talked about it a couple times in here. They're doing really good. We did a hive inspection today. We have our new, little babies that have come out. I guess they're like 8, 9 days old. They did the orientation flight, and they've been busy. Everything looked really good. Yeah, I do different. I do buckets. I do different areas. Again, I kind of always switch things up. And then sometimes I do a mixture of different ways I do it, but it all works well. It also depends on my space and where I'm needing to put things. Hey, KP Heathen, how are you? Yeah, a lot of my stuff is doing great. My blueberries are doing great. I mean, they have blueberries on them. They're not ready to eat. I mean, they're ripen, but everything's coming in great, and they look great. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I see. I have 2 out now that I'm going to take out of my compost and go do something with them, because I see them coming up pretty tall and big, and that happens. But I mean, that's good. That's always those little piggyback ones that come on, you can get extra stuff from, but I'm not complaining. Okay, Chaos Prepper. I understand. Go do all the family stuff. More important. How are y'all doing your onions this year? My garlic's coming up fine, chives, but my regular onions are not coming up this year too great, or not on the same schedule timing as everything else is. I don't know. I'm not. That's okay, Prepanoris. That's fine. You know what? That is so funny you bring that up. Mine are everywhere. Mine are everywhere too. I think every section I have, even some of my container ones, I have the sunflowers popping up. And I leave them because they're really good for the soil and the ground. And I mean, like, if you have, even like your rotating fields, or like when you harvest anything, it's at the end of the season, you do sunflowers in between, because it helps, replenish the soil and different things. So I usually leave mine unless it's becoming, I just leave them. But it's funny you said that, because I have so many coming up and different, just all over as well this year. Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's what we do at the end of like we do our compost all year. And then when it's time, like, you redo everything, and you get that year around that time before spring starts and you start getting your area ready, we take that compost and put it in that. And it's been kind of aging for about a year. and doing its thing, and it works. It just works really well. Raised beds. Okay. Yeah, mine are like container things, and I don't know. I'm not sure because usually, onions are just take hold. A lot of um root type vegetables and stuff. You just kind of, a lot of times for me, you kind of throw them in the ground and forget them, and they do really well. Let me see what random's got to say here. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on with mine. And it's funny because, yeah, we do. We have a whole row on the back side of our garden that is sunflowers and wildflowers and pollinators. That is for our bees, but I have sunflowers just all over the place popping up. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit this. Other conversations. I don't know what's going on with some of them. Oh, see, I don't know. I've been hearing that. Some I've been asking other people. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. I'm starting from store. You talk about like cutting off the bottom, the rooted section and rooting it? Doing that? That's how mine are, and they'll usually come right up. So, okay, I'm caught up. How about that? I'm caught up, guys. So a couple other things I wanted to bring up. Talk about the line mate. I want to ask about this. Now, I'm not a big CB person, okay? I want so we got this. I did a thing on it. Maybe, I don't remember, it was a while back. I don't remember if it was a community post or I put it in a video I did. But it was on a clearance thing for a CB radio. I believe it is a Cobra. Yeah. It's just nothing fancy. CB. This one. I think I showed it because I got it on a clearance thing. If you know anything about CB radios. So I have two, and usually you think about these, they go in like somebody, you put them in your vehicle, which one for that. And I also want to use one of these smaller for a in-house type, CB. So I've gotten all the antenna stuff. As you can see, it's not been hooked up. Does anyone who has the CB thing as your in-house part? I need to. I wonder if Josh would know. Where's just Josh? I'm wondering about. Yeah, Cobra. Yeah, I like the Cobra. I just want it to be. I can't even think of my stationary for in the house. In Yukos, you have to do like the antenna, but I want one for the house and the one that's for our truck. But I haven't set it up inside. So does anyone have any advice on doing your home-based one of a CB like of this style inside? I would like to know. I would like your help on that one. I'm recently found. Oh yeah, you can do celery, and you can do that from clippings. If you bought like a store thing of celery, those take up really easy also. Breaker. What? See? But I don't know how to. It seems different. For inside or something. Yeah, my power station for inside. So you have to you have to have your power source and different for this. So that's what my thing is. Yeah, see, that's what my thing is like. Can I just run it off of a battery? I just want to know how people who have these are supposed to be like, kind of the mobile ways. If you have it set up in your house. Oh, okay. I'm going to get up with him. How I would set this one up. I'm just curious because I want to get this one up in the house. Okay. Handheads too. I don't know what that means. Huckleberry, write it down. He knows. I, like any of this technical. I don't know. I want to make sure I have it up right. Hey, Bama Fanatic, how are you? Good to see you. They're supposed to. I've seen a lot of setups, and I think one of the ones I saw that talked about it but didn't go into depth for his setup was Southern Prepper One. Dave over on Southern Prepper One, he had a thing. I've had this for a while, but I haven't set up inside. And I think he has this exact one. And several people though use it. And there, of course, there's my reasons for having one in home and one in the car. Should somebody be away, lots of reasons. Who is this now? I'll have to write it down. Thank you. I appreciate y'all's help. I don't know, but a lot of things people will say is things don't have to be as difficult with some people. Or even if you look up things like that and you go through that, as difficult as they have to be. Hey John, how are you? A power inverter from AC to DC to make work at home. I do believe I read about that, but I will always write down stuff. AC. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your help. Michael, that's what I thought. And it's not something it's not something that you're just going to leave on all the time. I'm just not, I'm just not, have it on all the time, nonstop. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking is you could just run it off of a battery like that. I mean, why couldn't you? As long as you have the antenna stuff. I'll make sure I don't miss anything. Let me see. KC, thank you for doing that because that helps me see it. And if I miss something, I do apologize. You'll have to get a power source radius. May 2 videos available. Yeah. Yeah, I have the ones that says for, Oh, see. I remember growing up and all the guys, all the fellas in their trucks, they all had CB radios and different things. And they all, rode around with their pew-pews in the rack in the back of their truck. And everybody was at, school and high school. Nobody thought anything of that. What happened in those days? But yeah, because, well, for myself, and I think a lot of us do that, even if it's unintentional, we have focus in areas and then we come back and we kind of see where we are. And this is something, a focus that needs to be, because we're at this time where I was preparing for spring and things to get going. And now we're kind of at a time where I don't have to, things are kind of doing their thing. You just do checks on every day. This is an area that needs some focus right now. And I'm feeling more sooner than later. If y'all know everything that's going on and why not. And, I mean, you've been hearing about how much I can say on here. The Red Dragon, the whole thing about the satellite threats and all that. And was it yesterday? The U.S. agreed to sell Taiwan a bunch of stuff. I don't know how much I can say on here. And they're going to do everything on the list that says don't do this, or it's going to be considered an act of, and we're not going to take that nicely. We're going to do everything on the list and then some, because they want things to pop off so bad they can't stand it. At anyone they can, because they can use that's why everything's crashed, and they can come in and save everything. Don't they always do that? create the problem, the chaos, the everything else, and then here's the solution, and do it how they want. Oh, hey, Colleen. Yeah, do the things. That's what I say. I tell people all the time, like, don't let me interrupt it. Do the things. Okay, let me see. Let me see. You should only need the inverter if you want to plug it into the wall. Okay. So if I don't know. I don't know I guess maybe also I'm like with these, if anyone has something like that, they're using it as their home base one. What has worked and hasn't worked for you? I guess, also because, I read a lot of things that needs to be done, but then sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure what is the best way to do it. And yeah, you can do, okay. It was CBA, not ham. Yeah. I just think, I just feel that we need several different types of communications. Don't rely on just one or the other. There's different reasons for different ones and different, and I have, it's over there behind me. One of my, Faraday cage. I always keep one of something of this sort, in there. You don't know. We don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. I just rather be ahead of the game. Oh, you're ham. Oh yeah. This isn't my strong area. Just put me out in nature and I'm good to go. But the rest, this type of stuff is not my strong area. Let's see. Oh, random. You grew up like that too. You talking about the good old boys in the truck. That's how it was. Can use old analog TV antenna on pole. Okay. Well, that's a good idea. I mean, anything to reach. And then I also think about, we try to do that gray man thing. So I don't want something to be like, oh, well, look, they have this giant antenna. They've got some stuff over in there. But then there's certain things you're not going to be able to hide like that. You're not going to be able to be kind of incognito with things like that. It's going to have to show. But I would feel more comfortable having that set up. Hey, Appalachian. Versatile, I see you snuck in here. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I second that. Yeah, now I love my my little scanner things. I have a couple of those. I keep those on. So I have a heads up about things, what's going on. Yeah, I believe in having several different things. I know. I think a lot. I hear this more and more, and I'm just getting more into like, okay, this needs to be done. Yep, absolutely. It's not going to matter. And the thing is also about a lot of these, that doesn't mean you have to be on them and talking yourself, but having intel coming in and being able to listen to things and other people and taking in information is going to be priceless in many different ways. And I think you need to have that. I mean, we can look at history and see that. Only 2? Oh my gosh. Only 2. I don't know that I could just do 2. I mean, if I have to think about, and it depends on what everybody's needs are. Like if I had to think what is kind of a catch-all good for whether it was viral, bacterial, medicinal type stuff. I mean, like my big thing is I would never go without oregano and garlic. Those are going to be your power punch to get almost anything that's going to get it. If something like that, but it really also kind of depends. If I had to, if somebody right out said just pick 2 right that quick, those would be my first thoughts, because you can preserve those differently, but being sick or having an infection, whether it's topical and internal or whatever, during shift, I want to get a hold of it. And those would be my 2 power punch things to get a hold of. That would probably be, Yeah, there's always that risk, but that's why you gotta be low key. And at some point, you still, you gotta do. I mean, you gotta pick your stuff. I mean, that's just how. But I understand what you're talking about, and that's why I think also is not being on them, speaking yourself as much. Um, Also, kind of being low key about it, but being able to hear, um, and being brief if you're on there. Yeah, I have several of those. I keep them on different channels, and I have them in my Faraday cage just in case. Again, so I can hear things. Yeah, it's not hard. You can do that stuff online. Um, I see. A lot of old people still have analog intent. Yeah, see, I'm just old school, which would match my personality, right? Us too. I have my scanner on all the time. Um, so okay, I'll make sure I haven't missed anything. But I think that is something that's something I'm working on is my comms with the CB. I am also is the lion's mane. Of course, I will bring you guys along about that. Make sure I'm not missing anything that I did want to bring to your attention. But and again, if you have anything or know anything or suggestions, I'm open for it. Shoot me an email, put it down here about either one of those because we all learn from each other. Let's see. Yeah. All of that, all the stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things, even like herbs. I'm just like grow 'em. It's not just a culinary thing, and learn what they're all used for. And I mean, herbs are so simple to dry and preserve, and to make tinctures, and to make infused oils or different things like that. Topical, internal. You're just not going to regret having that. And there's so much people don't. I think a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of it's just because they're not used to that. They were not raised that way. They don't have the knowledge. They didn't use it. Is they get so leery, like, what is these are herbs? You think about this is a spice for culinary, the power that they have as far as medicinal uses. And that's where most everything came from, way before any of the big pharma made by man stuff came, and it worked just fine, and then some. I agree. I'm an old soul. I truly am. I keep things the old ways. All the time. Ask my husband. I was getting on talking about yesterday. I'm like, don't get a bunch of power needed stuff. You better get a hand stuff because when something happens to the grid or anything else, that's not going to work. And so I'm grateful for that and the upbringing of that. Do I know? Oh, yeah. Well, of course. I don't think it depends on where your location. Um, but when things first happen, if I have a family member that's gone away from the house, one in the house, I'm going to be able to get up with them in different ways that I can. And a lot of us listening. I don't think people are going to be traveling as much. It's not going to be like how it is now. Absolutely. Oh, see, Miss Sharon, don't you? It'll become addicting, especially once you learn it. I think a lot of people get into it because it can seem very overwhelming and scary, and I can respect that. I understand completely. Anything new for me is the same way. Just we all have things that are new to us and things that we're very comfortable with that we almost take for granted. Um, but then once you learn it, it will. But I mean, it's all good stuff. It's usable, skills and items. Oh yeah, turmeric's fantastic. Everybody should have that. That's a huge one. Full body, that's your anti-inflammatory stuff all over. And if you get overrun with inflammation, what do I say about your inner terrain? If you're full of inflammation, everything kind of goes from that. Disease and illnesses, and the big C, not the illness C, the other one, it has to have inflammation and an acidic environment to survive and grow. If you keep the inflammation down, make it more alkaline, things can't take hold. Okay. I'll look forward to it. Sounds good. Oh, yeah. I'm big on lists and inventory things, and I make lists off my list. I have a list. Say you have holes or stuff, and or you're going through your inventory, things that are low, or maybe things you really stocked up on and thought you're not going through it as much, or whatever situation, and then make lists off of that list to prioritize things because most of us are living in the real world, and we have to prioritize things how we get it, and like how the focuses are different. Like I've had that, I've had that CB for several months. I haven't gotten it set up yet, and that's just something I would feel there. When you're doing different preps or you have different areas, you're like, okay, I'd feel better once this area is kind of taken care of, and that is one that I need to get done. Yeah. I have a decorative orange tree. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of ornamental trees and different things that, you know, some I have this year I have it's a bush, not a tree. It's for lemons, and I have that in a big pot because it's trouble. I can bring it in the wintertime. And that's growing and doing well. Not producing any fruit yet because it's smaller, but it's supposed to after a year only. And you don't have to wait those several years to get it. Um, let's see. Yeah, I am too. I make lists all the time, every day. It keeps me on track. I have to have a visual and mark things off and know where I'm at. I probably because I have a million things going on all the time, and it just kind of keeps me organized. Yep. Michael G, you better get on that. No, I understand. Inventory that, and you'll see about different areas you may be lacking. It'll just kind of bring things to your attention. It's good to do that. I have a comfort in doing inventory and reorganizing my preps in different areas at different times. I do it a couple times a year because it just makes me feel better as far as seeing it. And then there are things that you just getting used to as you do, especially things that have to be rotated. And then you're like, oh gosh, I didn't realize we'd gotten into that much or whatever. And depending on where you live, you have different things. You live on the southeast. You have hurricane season come up. I've talked about it before. When you have to get into your preps over something like that, you quickly realize how fast certain things can be gone through. It's always good. Let me see. I'm trying not to miss anything. Oh yeah. My I know they have different ones throughout the state. Let's see what Sandy has to say. Oh great. I'm so glad to hear that. Fantastic. Yes. I do. I put that in. I had turmeric and cayenne pepper. I put it in everything all the time. They're like I say, just incorporate it into your lifestyle, your diet. I hate the word diet. People know I hate that word, but however you want to word it, and you just kind of keep that in all the time instead of like when something happens and you're like, I got to take a very heavy load of this. Like I can have fresh turmeric, and use it in like tea or culinary different things, but I do not tolerate taking like turmeric like bought capsules. It's too harsh and strong. And that I'm very sensitive to things anyway. I've talked about that. I always took a lower dose than what would be recommended, even for someone my size or anything. If you just keep that in your body all the time, it's preventive care. Preventive care is always lower and easier than treatment. So to me, that's key to most everything. But of course, if you got something going on, or if it's something acute, you got to do it. I'm just trying to keep you on track. I need to be kept on track myself. Cherokee, I make, especially in the fall and winter, I make three sister soup all the time. Of course I do. And then I make bulk amounts, and it freezes really well also. Freezes and cans well, and then you have it. Incredibly healthy, hearty soup to have. It's just really good. Oh yeah. Yeah, the little things you don't think about sometimes. And then sometimes even if you're like, we don't ever get sick, or, something may come about and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I haven't needed this in, years, but then something went through and we went through things. It's good to have on. He has spoken. Some of y'all sitting up in here rent free. Hit the like button. I'm terrible about asking that, and just Josh always does it in my lives. In his calm radio voice. Yeah, yeah. We have three sister soup in there. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Especially it's a warming soup. So, in the fall and winter, I eat that. We eat that very often. It's always a hit. Yeah, Beaverines. Thank you, Michael G, for giving them a shout out. Hit the like. See, yeah, hit that like button. It helps. It does help me out. I understand, like, as soon as you forget or you don't want all those likes that come up in your queue or however that works, it does. And being how much YouTube stays on me for absolute nonsense, it helps me out. Oh gosh, really, Miss Sharon? See, I was seeing little things again that were limits again on things, and I haven't for a little bit, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure, and by fall and all those type of things, I'm expecting them to start that nonsense again. But see, I mean, you never know. You never know. But thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. First thing you do, I know sometimes I'm like, just hit it on your way out. And then if you ever go out, because I've done that before, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to hit it. And I'll go out and then I'll come back in. And then that's when I get caught in top chat. And then I sit there in top chat shame. So if you go out and you hit it, if you have to come back in, make sure you're in live chat. So you can, sit in here with the cool kids. Oh yeah. Poison ivy. All different things. Big thing if you're out and about, carry the smaller containers of Dawn. I know Dawn soap. If you can get that on immediately, it will not take hold because it's the oils and they have to seep in, and Dawn will break that barrier. Some people are like, I did yard work and I came in contact, I took a shower and I still got it. You got to have something that will break that oil barrier. And learn about jewelweed. Jewelweed usually grows alongside and near poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. Jewelweed is poisonous. If you eat it, do not put it in your mouth or near your mouth. But it has a milky sap substance inside of it, and that will treat and prevent, like if you get in contact with poison ivy and stuff, because that can be miserable. And some people are highly allergic to it. Like it can just get really bad very quick. Yeah, you know what? Thank you for saying that, because we had to run out earlier, and I'm just like, it's the uptick again. I don't know what it is, but the mask, and I'm riding in my car by myself. Obviously, you're scared of your own self, so you're wearing a mask in the car, and people out. I'm seeing that again. This is like, when all that was going on, I was like, this is a psychological thing they're doing, because those who are doing it, what is going on now? Because you're not hearing all the hype. They've kind of moved past that flame died out that they drug out for so long. Anyways, where are they at right now in their minds that they feel the need to do that? And I worked in the medical field. We did not use those coverings, the amount that's used for things that could be a serious issue. You just, as much as what this is. utter nonsense. I cannot comprehend it. And I'm not trying to be ugly. I mean, I am very much always, you do what's best for you, what you feel makes you feel best and works for you and all that. But the flip side of the problems it causes just all the time and people outside with them. And it just causes, I just can't even understand it. I just don't get it. Yes, random. Thank you. I mean, and it's bad because I mean, I'm pretty low key about everything, but it's like one of those things, it just irritates me when I see it. I'm like, please don't. Could your body, you need to have fresh air. Please just stop. I can't understand it. Me too, Miss Sharon. They are the best. I say it every week, and so do you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That's great. Praise reports. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. If there's any questions you have or anything you want to say, please throw it down. I appreciate all of you being here. Truly, I love all you guys. I constantly pray for you guys. Keep doing the things. Y'all help me so much as well. And I really appreciate it. Yes, horrific. The mosquitoes already, and it's ridiculous, and more than usual this time of year. We're seeing a lot more ticks. No, the other day, Huckleberry went out into the woods to go do something, and he had a little tiny one. It was crawling like on his sock when he came back up. But that's something we check for and do. I do have, chickens and different things I keep out. I used to always encourage possum to stay in my yard and area because they will eat what is like 70% of your ticks in your yard. They're immune to all that type of stuff. Possum. But then I had possum and they were killing my hens. Boom, boom, boom. 3 and then they attacked 4. They killed 3 of them like within a week's period of time. I've never had that happen. But so that a lot of times took care of my ticks. But mosquitoes are really bad already. Yes. So I am as well. I do too. You cannot live in fear. There's a different things between having common sense. We have common sense about things. You don't have to be in the medical field to understand about using common sense. And then there's this whole mind control, psychological fear thing that's happened. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I understand about special needs kiddos and smells. I understand that as well. Oh, yeah. Just throw it away. Just give it to them. Just print it. Just, forgetting everything else here. Don't get me started. Oh my gosh. Again, there's a whole other scheme they're running with that. Oh yeah, all of that. It makes a lot of issues that people didn't have, and the bacterial type stuff that goes on in the lungs and people's in your nose and sinuses. It's ridiculous. Yep. Absolutely. Hit that like, share it, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. It really helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Truly. And Miss Sharon, I appreciate all you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I pray for all you guys. I think that's it. Lemongrass, yeah, that works fantastic for a lot of stuff. I have a bat house on my property. I keep, and they start coming out and dipping down all around us, but they help. Anything to help like that, because people don't realize the amount of diseases those things can carry and spread. I think there's hardly any of that left in most of society. This is the calmest channel. Is that a good thing? I'm pretty low key. Calmingness. All right, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you being here. Keep doing the things. Remember, take your days of rest, no matter what day it is. Doesn't matter. There's no set time which day it has to be. Whatever works for you. Take your day of rest. You can't pour from an empty cup. Talk about recharging, unplugging from things. You're gonna need that self care. Self care is the best care. You have to do that first. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I will see you next time. Everyone have a blessed day.